Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fortnite Live. My name is K.O. Smith. This is the fourth episode that we are doing. I'm joined by Wes Phillips.
Failing all day.
Yeah, we just posted.
Failing upward. That's what I do in life.
We just posted Wes's video compilation from last week's stream. Wes, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. I got some of that tasty bacon in my stomach that my wife made, so it's consoling me for all my fails. My life fails. That's one choice. That's one good choice I've made. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
We also have Will Kinsler, one of the other community managers here. Will, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'll be doing better when I have some bacon. I understand that there's some here.
So
there it is, the bacon cam.
Yes. Lots of bacon. We're joined by a lot of folks, a lot of leads from the dev team. We will introduce each of them as the show goes on, ask them some questions about OT2, and basically get to know them a little bit here when they're up on the stage. But today we got candy bacon in the back. I don't get any. Someone has to bring me some. I can't move. I was told I can't move this whole. It's sad. I'm really sad. So no candy bacon for me.
Too.
Nice. But we're still gonna have fun. Today we're talking about OT2. We have Roger or Tanya's coming up first, followed by I think Matt, Russell, Roger, Billy. Darren may come in here.
We don't know. We don't really know who's gonna come in off the street. I feel like there's going to be like stray dogs and whatever. Just the bacon is going to.
Darren.
Yeah.
Darren told me he would come. He was like, "Yeah, I'll be there," but we know
it's not a cookie and a Starbucks, so it may not be enough to draw him.
Building awesome.
Yes,
that's true.
All
right, well, let's get
so, Will, you and I were in dev event along with everybody else in this room, but you and I went into a very specific hex where some players were building some really cool stuff. And you sent me a message like immediately when I got, like as soon as I got out, I was playing with some people. And I'm going to tell you guys about my little adventure. But we were playing with some people. I got this message like, dude, you got to join this room right now.
Yeah. As sometimes happens, got invited to play, from somebody from the community, and hopped into this hex, and it was from somebody, a Lizard, that I play with like pretty often. Go in, and he's just built with a couple other people like the most amazing, like basically city inside of Fortnite. So they have, a massive tower. They had a pyramid. They had just a crazy amount of like jump pads all over the place.
Yeah, you could see it on the.
Yeah, that we immediately started just like jumping over. And so I sent you a message. I was like, I think you need to come in here and get some video, some video of this. I probably spent like a couple of hours in there. Doing stuff, and it was funny because we got in there and we immediately started trying to figure out like, hey, like what else can we do? And so we built this like checkerboard of jump pads and stuff, and we're just like jumping around like with the ninja and doing all kind of crazy double jumps and stuff. And so that's kind of like Fortnite community at its best right now. Is like, you hop in, you see some amazing thing that people are working on and collaborating on, and you hop in and you check it out and you join in on the fun.
So a little bit about this hex that we saw. There was like a giant skyscraper basically sitting in the middle.
Yes.
There were steps that led up to the top, and then there was like an elevator, a jump pad elevator.
Yeah, he's like the first time it was funny. He let me walk up the steps the first time. So I'm like, he's like, oh, have fun walking up the steps, right? And it's like take me a while to walk up there, and then the next time I'm like, well, I want to go back up there again. And he's like, actually, there's an elevator back there. And I was like, what is he talking about? We don't have an elevator. Oh, we do have an elevator.
Level 100, he let you go up the stairs.
Yeah, so he put all these jump pads in kind of like in a row. The way that he built them, it made it like super fast to go up. Within like 10 seconds, I'm at the top of this thing that's like 10 or 15 stories high. Right. So that was really cool. I mean, here you can see how we were kind of like linking together the jump pads and just like moving around really quickly. So
it's awesome to go in there. The skyscraper, which you guys are looking at right there, is like it's so awesome. I don't know how long that took them to build, but it was lizards, hams, and cooties, you believe?
Yeah, he said that they were working on it, for a couple of days. I mean, I think what they did was, they went in. I don't know if they're going to do it today because it's the last day of OT. I don't know if they're actually going to flip the gate live and try to defend it. But they just wanted to go in somewhere and kind of like free build and have some fun. And so they were doing that for a good part of last week, basically.
Okay. And the other thing, I mean, we're talking about community stuff. We mentioned 2 weeks ago Storm Chasers events, and we just want to call out to you guys again to let us know for, using the hashtag Fortnite Live where you all would like us to bring the next Storm Chasers event.
Yeah, so we're actually really close to announcing the first one that we're going to go to this year. That's kind of something we've been working on a while. It's already set in stone, but we want to have an opportunity to potentially go somewhere else that you guys can help us decide and figure out where to go. So use that hashtag Fortnite Live. We're going to keep talking about it, and we're really interested to hear. Where should we come? Where should we take Fortnite this year?
Preferably somewhere with delicious food. I think that's priority number one.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And tell us why your city's awesome.
People.
Maybe that will help.
Hawaii.
You gotta sell your.
Yeah.
You gotta.
I feel like trying to justify.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, maybe if there's enough outcry on Twitter hashtag Fortnite Live for us to take. Who knows where we could go.
Right.
I mean, are there enough players in Bora Bora? I don't know. Maybe.
We could go there.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're gonna get some gameplay going. We're gonna do a pretty long game session. We're gonna swap in some people. Will, thank you for being up. Will's gonna hop in game.
Get up on.
We're gonna get Tanya, our executive producer, up here to talk a little bit about OT2. Maybe give us some information on OT3. I don't know.
We'll drag something out of her.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh boy.
I mean, she did get Candied bacon
I know.
after all.
I feel like it's lonely over here. There's like another spot. Should we just bring someone else up here too?
Well, Zach needs to come up too.
Bacon
I feel like Zach can just
Zach
sit up here.
needs to come up here too. Because I need to
wave
give this.
wave
Look,
at
there's
all the
Darren. Darren's here
folks.
too.
Darren is right.
I know. There's a rare Darren spotting on camera right there. See it?
Oh, it's fine.
Can you guys switch seats real quick?
These two?
Yep.
Okay.
I have.
Sorry. Live television, everyone. Was that a Running Man line? I don't know.
Oh, for me? Yep.
Is that what you want?
Yep.
I'll just fill the space with Running Man quotes then. All right. Only in reruns. No. Okay.
I see everyone is taking the bacon and I can't get any. It makes me so sad that I get to stare at the bacon.
Somebody bring this man some bacon so he can stop whining. All right.
Should I bring a tray or just like?
Should
I feed it to him?
I just want a little bit of bacon. Can I?
There we go. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
All right.
I'll let somebody else.
Yeah, I'll eat the thing
take.
of it. Yeah.
All right.
I've already
Here we
had
go.
one.
Do this thing.
So one thing I do need, Zach, before you do that, can you scroll on the can you alt tab over here
To the other screen on the
to the
left.
other screen and scroll all the way down?
Invisible screen that we are talking about that the viewers cannot see.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes, there. Thank you.
He's reading all of this off a script.
I know. I have some questions. I remember some of the questions. I can't remember
Word
all
for
the
word.
questions, guys. So Tanya, OT2 last day.
Yeah.
Can you tell us some of the team's goals for this OT and talk a little bit about what an OT is as well? Because we're gonna have another one, and we want folks to kind of be aware of what we're doing.
Yeah. So first off, I want to thank everyone for playing the game. I mean, I know it's a lot of work, but it really does help us to get to the bottom of some of the infrastructural stuff that we need to do for Fortnite and make sure that it's the best game possible. So our online tests are really a way to continue to do that. Continue to put stuff in, see how people play with it, how they react, how they play the game and react to it with their friends. Like, these are all ways for us to functionally make a better game for everyone. So that's what online test is all about.
Okay. And then what were some of the team's specific goals for OT2?
So for OT2, we had a few big things. One, which I know we talked about quite a lot, is the ability system implementation, which was basically ripping the guts out of a lot of the systems in Fortnite so that we could very quickly and easily build on top of that. And so it seemed like, we didn't get a whole ton of feedback on like major breakages or things in the game. So thank you guys for, testing that out for us. Things looked pretty good. We were also continuing to iterate on our feedback process, and we had over 500 feedback emails submitted through the OT, and a lot of good stuff came in through there. We also we tried to do some concurrency testing, so we're trying to stress test the system. So we were able to get a few hundred folks online at the same time over the weekend.
Right.
And it's just continuing to test the systems and make a good game.
Okay. So, for the concurrencies, we had dev events. So I'm sure everyone got to play, had some very cool experience with some community members. Were there any like really cool things that you saw during this OT from some of the players playing currently? Yes.
Well, so first of all, everyone I played with had like level 20. They were like level 20 class. Their classes were all leveled up, and like even just not talking to folks, like people just knowing exactly what to do and where to go and how quickly they could scavenge for stuff and start building these crazy forts. I was like really impressed and kind of shocked because this was in the very first dev event where people had already put in so much time and they were so good at the game and just like directing where to go. It was like, super proficient, like right out of the gate. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
And real quick, before you head off, I know you have another meeting to go to. Is there anything that you can tell us about the upcoming OT3 that you want to share with folks that's special?
Without Roger, is Roger still here?
I'm here.
Without Roger stabbing me?
Yes.
Roger, can I overcommit?
No.
I feel like we can talk on a really high level about maybe some of the changes on maybe how people are going to navigate through the game a little bit for the upcoming
maybe
stuff.
even about
Can
some
you
of the
say
stuff
things-
that they might have, like instead of like across multiple game sessions.
Oh, that's is that not? We're being very cryptic right now. So
You see the looks off stage?
So,
okay.
long story short is we have some really exciting stuff coming. We're testing a bunch of assumptions. Like we've seen the way people play the game, and we have some big changes coming. And we're gonna see how it nets out. I think you guys will like it a lot, but I don't want to overpromise. Underpromise, overcommit.
Right.
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 And there's some really big stuff coming along, as well as some really cool in-game things. And so we'll talk more. I think it'll be better if we talk more about it later.
Can I at least get last end of OT stream?
Yeah.
You'll let us know if there's some celebrations. Are we gonna get a new celebration?
Right.
Can I like?
What, is it not enough for you? What we don't have enough
I
for
just
you?
wanna.
Are you trying to like do mocap right now?
I can't
that's
move.
Not, like,
I can't.
He's like trying to.
yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know what's happening.
I'm wiggling, doing my dance.
I saw that wiggle. So we gotta get him in the
I
mocap.
don't know what that. Yeah.
Oh wait. Okay.
Sorry.
Keep it PG.
It's all right.
Anyways.
Moving along.
Yeah. So we definitely have more wiggles in store.
Okay.
Be a little more explicit. You're talking about the
Emotes, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
We have more emotes in store.
Okay.
I just don't know.
Fortnite wiggle.
Hashtag Fortnite
Fortnite
Live.
Live. Hashtag
Where
Fortnite
is your Storm
wiggle.
Chaser event going to be? Maybe you
Whatever,
can see
hashtag,
Kale's wiggle in
hashtag.
person.
Okay. Yeah. Next Fortnite, if you're at the next Fortnite Storm Chasers event, come see me wiggle.
Oh, and I want to call it real quick to the guys that saw the graffiti wall. Like, we were all super excited on the dev team when folks found that and posted it on the forums. So awesome. We have some really committed artists here who spent good time designing those tags.
They look
so
awesome. They look
glad
awesome.
you guys appreciated that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's awesome.
They were super stoked to see that. All right, next up we have Matthew Russell. Tanya, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Preach, Tanya.
Fortnite
That's
wiggle.
short
back to
for
you.
appreciate it.
This bacon is delicious.
This
Matt, did
bacon
you
is
have some bacon?
delicious.
I did have some bacon, and the bacon was delicious.
It was delicious.
Shout outs to my old lady who made it.
As the kids are saying, mad props to your ball and chain.
Now, can we get a little bit of the
Shout
gameplay
outs.
up right now? There
Is
we
the
go.
replay up because you don't want people to watch you eat?
I think it's
No,
more
well-
because we don't want them to see your face. I think that's
Well, that's legitimate.
we want them to get the full experience of Fortnite. Right now, we're watching Zach Phelps, who is playing the Constructor, which we've shown pretty much all of OT, and he's going to build some really cool stuff for us.
After he smacks
as
that
long
guy
as
in
and
the
I
face.
gotta say, Zach is
He's a master.
he's basically the master builder of Epic. I gotta say, I feel like
He's a master.
he is. If you look at our I don't even want to say like the number of hours played. If you look in our stats, Zach has quite a few of those hours
Yes.
played.
I've played a bit.
Understated gentleman.
You've got to do stuff other than play our
We
game.
get-
So
Who says I'm playing just at home?
So Matt is
That makes it a little bit sadder.
he's one of he is our lead animator on Fortnite, and I think we can thank Matt for a lot of the cool and the team.
Oh yeah, no,
for a lot of the
it's-
cool stuff that you guys see in the game in terms of what people have been really digging with players and some of the Husk animations and stuff like that.
Yep, that's
So-
Alex Whitney, Brian Campbell, and Cody Bellimer knocking that stuff out and doing a fantastic job. And also, I was going to say, I mean, if you've got the wiggle, I've got my camera here. I can go ahead and shoot video reference. I mean,
Yes.
we can just get it. We can
Sweet,
go ahead and
let's
shoot
do
video
it.
reference.
Let's
and-
shoot the wiggle
No, no,
on
no,
camera
hold on.
right now.
Hold on.
Just
We're
for
gonna-
process.
Let's get this.
That was-
'cause we
All right.
want-
Here's the wiggle. Are you ready?
And I'm gonna
word
get slow
improperly.
motion too, because this is the 6 Plus, because that's how I roll.
All right, you ready?
Okay, hold on. Wait, let's go full on.
Here's the wiggle.
All right, dude, you're doing vertical video. What are you, some sort of heathen?
Shut up! This is video reference. I've got to get all of the wiggle.
Vertical video?
What are you, a hipster? That's perfect.
Oh,
That's
hipsters
gonna
take
be in
vertical
slow motion.
video.
We'll also have
For
that posted
Snapchat.
on the website so that you guys can
Fortnite wiggle.
All right.
make it your GIF. GIF.
Don't
No,
don't
we're not
come
gonna
on
have
the
that.
stage and
We're not
say the
gonna
word
have
GIF
that. Giphy
unless
GIF.
it refers to peanut butter.
Well, that wiggle is smooth like peanut
Don't
butter.
you dare!
Good GIF.
So, Matt, what were some of the really important takeaways that the animators had for both OTs? Because we really didn't get a chance to kind of talk about that in the end of last OT. So can you kind of talk about what you guys have been kind of looking at and analyzing from player feedback or just when you're in game and looking at people play?
Yeah, a big part of it is just coming down to, for lack of a scientific term, what's janky and what's not. I mean, we went through a big. Yeah,
I just saw Billy just grab
Like-
his forehead. He just smacked his forehead when you said word janky.
janky. And it's just true. Well, the thing is, when way back in the day, all the original animation content was done on a very specific body type, and since then, we've introduced like Pete and that amazing team of artists that we have introduced, a wider variety of body types, and we've been going through and addressing like what works and what doesn't, and trying to make it fix. Like the Constructor, he is one of my favorite characters. I love watching him, but because of how he's built, he introduces some issues from the player perspective when like you're going downside on a ranged weapon. So a lot of the stuff that we're looking at is like best ways to approach that, and then also some of the other stuff is just now, as we're going long term, like looking at some of the enemy stuff, where can we fix things that are getting broken now that design is kind of dialing in with a finer, like a finer looking glass on some of the stuff, and it's like we've kind of intentionally held off on some stuff that we knew was broken,
Right.
because we knew that there was going to be some more numbers dialing. So now we have an opportunity at this point to start to get a little bit more of a, do a refinement pass. Like we did the Husky Husk, like our big guy there that you can actually watch on the stream. He was one of our newest additions because we were treating him as a new body type, and all of his animation was done as a very specific set to him, and some of the lessons that we learned using him as a proof of concept is what we're going to carry through a lot of other stuff.
Okay.
Some of it people will notice, and some of it they won't.
All right,
So-
right.
Got a lot of help. That husky, that electric
Yes.
husky huck.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
The balancing on this was awesome for OT2 compared to OT1. It was just awesome. It was
He
like,
doesn't want to die.
no, man, when you encounter these guys,
Where's
you're
the-
just
where
like,
is he?
oh my
I'm gonna have
gosh,
to come-
this
There's
is serious.
such a-
right?
Stab it.
There's such a high priority. Whoop, 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 whoop. I love that sound.
That's your ringtone.
So, I mentioned to Tanya about the dance celebration. Were you guys excited for players to have the opportunity to use that in game?
Oh, dude, anytime that we get an opportunity to kind of show off a little bit, we do, right? Like, because we're all gamers. We like to be able to do that, and the moment that we can introduce something that has a flavor outside of just shooting stuff in the face, because don't get me wrong, we all love to shoot stuff in the face, but every now and then we like to do a wiggle afterwards. And so any opportunity that we have to do that, and it's basically a tease, right? Like, it's an indication of all the things to come.
Right. Okay. All right. And I'm going to take a Fortnite Live question. Will there be any Easter eggs that reference some other games, perhaps that we've made, either with throwing in some homages to some of the games that we've created in the past, or otherwise maybe that you guys are thinking about?
I actually had to ask to find out about this, and apparently, yes, we have Easter eggs. If you go to our arcade, some of the arcade cabinets, and I think maybe some of the posters reference some of the stuff that we've done before.
Okay.
So
it wouldn't be much of an Easter egg if we just told you, Kale.
You blew it.
I
didn't tell him where or what.
I was just looking for you.
Oh, look, look.
Hey.
Look, Matthew
Hey.
Russell is the one who spilled the beans. So, no, I'm sure that over time we're gonna have a ton of these types of things.
Easter
in the
eggs.
game,
Oh, yeah.
Matthew's now on the hook to make
Yeah, I know exactly. Now it's on you, bud.
Okay.
Yeah. Been cooler stuff.
I got nothing. I was like, great. We'll Jira that. It'll get done.
So one last question I got for you, Matt, is from OT2, the dev events. Same thing I asked Tanya. Was there like a specific moment for you where you were like sweating on their armpits, you had people excited in the room? It was like a super crazy hex that you guys played that you had for this OT, or any previous one for that matter?
There was one, I think it was when we were in Portland, and we were doing that event, and one of the groups that I had, they were blazing. They had gone easily, I think they'd gone through more maps, they'd done more gate captures than any of the other groups that I had, and they were at least 4 or 5 in, and it was full on, like, there were multiple smashers, multiple flingers, like, it was like
super intense.
It was full on cray, and it was one of those where everybody in mine, I'm standing there, my shoulders are up around my ears, and they literally, it was that 5, 4, 3, 2 with like 2% of the gate left, and they pulled it off, and it was one of those times where there was this mix of like standing up and the one girl who just and it was like perfect, and it was fantastic. I loved watching that one.
It's so cool seeing people react to that kind of moment, and you're like, one, you kind of act like a coach, like coaching them, so you get super into it. Like you said, you were like tensed up. That's really awesome.
Oh, it was fun. It was an absolute blast. I love watching people play our games.
Super excited to go to the Storm Chaser events this year. So, all right, thanks a lot, Matt. Next up,
we have everything, Matt.
Darren.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Darren is
hello.
So difficult.
Wow, this is crazy.
This is like
what?
If you are watching
one of those like
ghost
hunter shows, like actually found a ghost.
Can you guys screen cap this moment?
Come on.
And tweet Fortnite game right now, please.
I was here last stream. Wasn't I?
He was here for the OT1 wrap up screen. But it's so hard to get Darren. He's always busy.
It's true. I want to make the game for the people so they can have something to play, or for Zach to play is basically more specifically.
So,
oh man, they're
Darren, for those that don't know, is our lead designer on Fortnite, and I think I could probably ask you 1,000 questions and he would know all the answers. But we're only going to have time for a couple questions, and one of the ones that I want to ask you is what were some of the design team's goals for OT2?
Making the blaster ridiculously hard.
He is
oh wait, no, that wasn't actually one of our goals, but it might have happened. Actually, a lot of the design team and actually a lot of the actually a ton of people in the organization actually really helped to bring the ability system together, which Tanya already talked about. But that was such a huge focus for us. We are just getting ramped up and ready to go for the future, and the ability system is the thing that lets us make really cool, fun things in the game. And so we've got a whole gadget system planned end, and we're sort of working that out. Everything from sentry guns to landmines and all those things. And the ability system is the way that we sort of are going to be able to do that rapidly and get updates out fast to the community. So ultimately, that's most of the design focus was really on that, and basically just getting ready so we can rapidly bang these things out over the next lifetime. I guess this year actually.
So
Yep.
you mentioned the blaster. That's
Yep.
all. That's all great, by the way.
Mhm.
You mentioned the blaster. Is there or will there be? I think after this OT, seeing how difficult the blaster was, are we going to think about maybe in the future, relatively soon, how we want to balance more so some of the enemies?
So I think in the next couple of OTs, we're gonna really start dialing in on a bunch of things. Like right now, as part of the live community, like get it fresh from the truck. We've got a lot of raw things in the game, but over the next, I'd say 2 OTs, we're going to start dialing that in and getting that a little bit more predictable and where we actually want them. But right now, we are sacrificing a bit of that for speed to kind of get that stuff in there and test it out. How is it going to work? Like you're seeing, does the blaster drive players to fall back and sort of get behind their walls,
Right.
and just really seeing what the behaviors are like, and then we'll be tweaking numbers all the way, literally forever. So yeah, but there's guys that are just not quite where we want them to be, but we're gonna get that and hear the folks' cries for help when certain things show up.
There are a lot of
I bore witness to a couple of them. So
yes,
I'm
there are a
sensitive
lot
to
of
it.
cries for help when people see the blaster right now. So, talking about some people's cries for help, was there any special? I kind of asked Matt this question. Was there any special gate capture experiences that you had during OT2?
Well, yeah. I mean, I had a lot of good experience. In fact, I wrote it down so I could do my shout outs to the Blessed Heretic, to Outraged, and to Dory, who they put up with my suboptimal play and some low ranked home base that they carried me. That I had a really good time with. I played these guys. They had a huge fort that was just awesome. They were like Tanya's accounting. They were all high level, and so they basically were dragging me along through the experience. So it was cool to see the guys really using some of the high end mechanics and seeing the stacking of all the home base buffs on me. So I was super happy to be made more powerful by our community.
Right.
So that's good. I'm down with that.
That's good.
So that works. So I had a good time with that, and I think everybody's been super cool in chat and in the games we've been playing. So yeah. So I wouldn't just say it's an individual gate capture that's cool, but everyone, my chats have been pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody likes the whole process that we go through, and making it better.
How do you feel about when the community, when you come in, being the lead designer, when you come in and people have to carry you and drag you along? How does that make you feel?
Shame. Basically, I mean, it's true, right? I mean, that's the same thing. That's what I have.
Nature of video games.
But that's why I have Zach.
Right.
Zach is like my proxy. I just how are we doing, Zach?
Yeah, we're doing really good.
See, that's all I need to know. So we're good.
We're getting better.
Yeah. So no, but yeah. I mean, I honestly wish I could spend more time actually in the live OTs than I'm able to. Largely because I really am trying to get everybody the new stuff that I'm actually already I'm having conversations in real time and I'm making little notes. And a couple of times I was sending mails while I was playing with the
Right.
guys. So I'm sort of focused on trying to get the stuff that people want into the future builds.
If you wanted to play there, you'd have to go home before midnight.
Yeah, that's true too. Roger's teasing me due to my late nights, but anyway, it's all good. As long as everybody's happy, then we're good.
That's good. So I was thinking we should do a dev speed run versus a community speed run and see who will win.
Does that ever end well in any game?
No, never.
Right?
I mean, not to say we can't do
I
it,
think we
but
could. I think we could.
We know how this will end up.
I
as
mean,
they
yeah.
say.
I mean,
I
fine.
mean, I think
We've been down that road.
Well, we could do it totally.
We can
know where
do
that
it. We
leads.
can do many things.
We just have to pick
Warface.
the opposing team.
Okay. All right. Now you're talking about gaming it. I can get down with that.
see?
Right. All right.
There we go. I need. Can you alt tab real quick for me? Gotta scroll down a little bit for questions. We have.
There you go.
There we go. So Fortnite live question for Darren, and this is a question from the community. Will there be more buildings in the town map? This is like a yes or no question. You don't have to say anything specific.
No, it's okay. I can, I don't follow the man.
Okay.
Ask Zach. He knows. I do what I want.
All
He does what he
I
wants.
don't even know who's the man in this
we
scenario.
make our own rules.
So the thing is actually we're probably not going to be adding more buildings exactly in the foreseeable future, but instead what we're actually going to do is focus on what those buildings are unlocking.
Okay.
We're clarifying a bunch of what the bonuses are. We're going to work on the ability to unlock active gameplay skills, probably I guess in the form of gadgets. I say that, no problem.
Okay.
And so there'll be a more cool stuff that are popping out of the buildings in home base in the future. So that's really our focus. And once we get that all lined up, we'll probably make more. But right now, this is just sort of our tier 1 implementation of what those things are going to look like in the long game. So as in the next few OTs, we'll be adding more and more functionality to them to make them more and more awesome. And so people are like, wow, like I definitely want to go do this stuff. The supply drop is an example that what we did in this one is basically a prototype version of what we want to do for many of the buildings going forward.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Darren, for answering all the questions.
No problem. And I hope everybody had fun.
Yes, very, very much so. Make sure you get some candy bacon.
All right.
Yes. Next up, we have Billy Bramer,
Billy Bramer.
lead programmer.
Respecting the pillars.
Oh man. Hello. You guys did it inferior. Impressive.
Oh, okay.
Earlier, so
I
I
was
had to
like-
fix it.
Is this some sort of like 60s British comedy show now? Like I don't understand what's happening.
You didn't do the blaster justice.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
There you go.
Hey!
Billy stays hype. He's always
on the hype
I
train.
love Billy. Yes.
He's the conductor of the hype
Billy's the
train.
best.
Yeah.
He's yeah, it's true. I agree.
So, Billy, what were some of the focal points for the programming team for the past 2 OTs?
Well, I feel like the previous guests, the way you organize this, they stole all the thunder of the ability system, which is what most of the engineers are working on. But in general, like a lot of our engineers have been doing things that are more like behind the scenes. They don't immediately appear like forward facing in this OT test, but they're for like our designers and our content creators to make more awesome stuff coming into the next one. Like so they can make the AI better, they can balance it better, so maybe the blaster doesn't have 1,000,000 hit points in the next OT or the one after, right? And so that we can make really cool abilities. And so it's been really neat to see like that whole system come together and the stuff that it's let us do. This morning I was already doing like things that would make the art team sad, where I was just like, well, let's find what meshes we have and start making prototypes. Like no meshes might have been involved, but they'll find out about that later. But yeah, I mean, it's mostly been behind the scenes stuff that we've been working on, and I think you'll start to see the fruits of that in the next couple OTs as we go on.
Okay. All right. That's pretty sweet. So I asked Cameron this question about building 2 streams ago.
He probably lied to you.
He told me this is what he said. All right, so first off, I think there's secretly a Billy versus Cameron feud, because Cameron he said on stream that he builds for efficiency, you build for style, and you have a saying about when it was something like building in style. But he said
if you haven't won with style, you've not really won at all.
Right.
I mean,
Yes, I want to get that on a T-shirt.
That's
I
Cameron.
agree.
Cameron said that, but then he was like, "But what if you end in a loss? Then it doesn't matter." Basically.
I see. That's a lot of talk given the last playtest performance results. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I agree,
Shots-
man. That's
shots
that's
fired.
baller. Like if you haven't won with style, have you really won it all? Honestly.
See, Zach knows. There's some crazy building pieces going down here.
So the question I had asked Cameron, and he deferred it to you, was, we're seeing Zach kind of do some of the building, and I asked about some of the building mechanics in the game. What kind of aspects of the building mechanics took the longest for the programming team to kind of be like, yeah, this is it. This is the final kind of version that we're kind of going to roll with.
Right. So the interesting thing about it was it actually the design of it and the experience for the user ended up probably taking the longest amount, just because they were the hardest to figure out in a way that people could still have fun, they could build quickly, but they could still express their creativity and things like that, right? And when we first started, we had very simple building pieces, and we had maybe like 8 or 10 of them, and you had to just mouse wheel through all of them, right? You just cycle through, and we're like, well, okay, if we keep it really small, maybe it'll be fine. But then, of course, artists are like, oh, we gotta have more,
right?
And we need some windows over here, we need this kind of stuff. And we were quickly running into this situation where we're like, man, there's so many building pieces we don't know what to do. And we fell back to the we're going to solve this with user interface elements. And it really felt like you were playing like a spreadsheet simulator. Like you'd open it up and be like, here's 400 building pieces, pick which one you want. And so we ended up in this world where both it was boring, and then people are sitting there perusing their choices, and they're getting murdered. Right. and then the screen closes and they're dead, and then they just rage at me in the playtest. So we were really fortunate that one of our designers, David Splinsky, he had this really clever idea that led to the edit mode, and he and I were fortunate to have time to prototype it out. We sat in his desk for a while, and we were like, well, how do you handle floors, and how do you handle this? And it came about in this that helped replace having to have a gigantic, ridiculous screen.
Okay.
So
Right.
I think that took the longest, but once we made progress on it, we really liked where it was going, and we got there pretty quick after that.
It feels so good. So good. Iteration.
Yeah.
I could only imagine mouse wheeling.
It's really elegant and stylish.
It
really.
is.
So it does. For me, it fits. It fits
It
totally.
fits.
All
I agree.
right.
It fits.
The elegance of Billy Bramer.
He's styling.
He's very elegant. In fact, that's just gonna be your nickname, elegant.
Billy,
I can deal with
elegance, Bramer.
Elegance.
that.
Yeah.
I've been called worse.
I'm like,
Okay, all right. If we showed him, did we show him getting hyped during the Storm Chasers event?
ooh, I don't know.
I
I don't
think
think
we
we have
did.
that video.
I wish.
I feel
that
like it
had
was
that.
in part of one video somewhere.
I feel like
I
it's
think it
like,
was.
can't I just imagine video and then it just appears on the stream? It doesn't work like that apparently.
Yeah.
No,
No.
some of this.
See, but here's, here,
Like, no, you don't understand how this works.
yeah. Here's the thing about not being on the team that edits the video, though. Like when they showed that, they showed me getting all hyped, right? But the part they cut out is everyone else leaving me to drive, hang out to
Yeah.
drive, right?
Standing there.
I'm bouncing around like an idiot, and everybody else is just like, wow, I can't even believe I work with this guy. And not a single person helping me out.
I had the camera
Haters gonna
going.
hate Billy.
Okay.
I was in there. I was pumping my fist with the camera.
Haters don't know about elegance,
Yeah, that's right.
about style, luxury. Now I sound like a Lexus commercial.
So,
Maybe I should just call you Lexus. Yeah.
so we're talking about style,
Yep.
and I have a style question for you, Billy, to end off before we switch to Roger. What was the most stylish fort or gate capture experience that you saw during OT2?
Oh, man. Can I talk about two? I've got a tale of
you
two
got
captures.
Okay.
Two
Tale of two
captures.
captures.
So
All right.
we're just so much elegance and luxury,
So, yeah, I mean,
classicism.
right, and it's so in this tale, right, the protagonist has to go through this sweltering amount of humility in the first gate
hero's
capture.
journey,
yeah,
if you
right.
will. Yes.
So I'm sitting in the global chat, and I join in for the community events, right? And somebody's like, "Man, it's a really hard gate, and I need some help. Like they're wrecking my buildings." And I'm like, "Here we go, I got
Right.
this, right?"
Right.
And I join in whatever, we'll see what happens. I think we lost in 45 seconds. I built this whole base, and I was guarding I was like, okay, I'm gonna guard this gate. You guys go over there, and then just everything blew up. There were flingers everywhere, all over the place, and I was like, okay, A, I'm not as nearly as good at this game as I thought I was, and B, it actually revealed that we need probably some better testing tools in general, so that we can get a better grasp on some of the progression stuff.
Right.
Because I actually didn't know our game could be that hard, so
Okay.
I learned that from that one. But then, having gone through that harrowing experience in the next OT one, I actually had a really cool one where they're kind of making a meta game of their own on the base, where they the inner part of the base they had wrapped it with this gazebo, and it looked like this little fancy thing in the park that you would go encounter.
Okay.
And then they built all around it, and the goal was preserve the beauty of the inner thing. You cannot allow the gazebo to fall. So we
Yeah.
had this cool.
So
huge-
did they wait? They kept the gate open?
Yes, but we built this huge prison around it, but the inner courtyard was left completely safe because you couldn't violate that.
Okay,
That
it's like a
the natural
sanctuary.
preserve.
Okay. All right.
So this isn't radio, Billy. So next time it's called Fraps. How about you just capture a little bit of it so we can see it? Just saying. Yeah, see, this one time we were playing Fortnite.
They're invading.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that sounds like a very interesting design. I would have loved to have seen that one.
Yeah,
Did
it
you
would be
guys?
great.
Did you guys win the?
Fraps.com.
You won it.
We
Okay.
did because it was stylish. I
It
mean,
was
there,
stylish.
there was no other option then.
Right. Okay. As long as you guys won in style, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, the first one was kind of like a ramshackle thrown together base. It was destined to fail. That one.
All right. Well,
Yep.
thank you so much, Billy,
Thanks for having
for
me.
sharing all your style.
Appreciate it.
I think some of it rubbed
Luxury.
off.
Oh,
on us.
there's so much luxury and style right now. Sliding off the stage with ease.
All right. Next up, we got Roger.
What?
who-
And now we got Roger.
Roger, lead
We
producer,
got
What am I gonna do?
all types of style. Roger
You guys are terrible.
was
I mean that with love.
so much feedback that I think you and I both saw, and you were very, very active on the forum.
Did I beat you?
I think you beat me.
I was trying. I was trying mostly to beat Grant. 'Cause
Grant?
Grant was king
Grant
last
So
OT1.
we had a little bounty
Whoa.
with the dev.
Yeah.
So it got a little competitive about who could help the community the most. And I think Roger, I think you won, Roger.
Yeah. I need a trophy or something. Golden bacon.
Oh,
We can do that. Can
I
we get a
died.
gold? Can we
Mounted
get a golden bacon
golden
trophy?
bacon.
Did you get a? I'm not on the stream for my dying, so it's good. Can we get a golden bacon trophy? I don't know. That's up to the dev team. They need to like maybe put it in the game or something.
I would like that.
I don't have to think about
Golden
that.
bacon.
Golden toilet bacon. Yeah.
Do like the toilet with bacon, squirt like you get the water flushing out and you see bacon
Just
on
don't
it.
say the word squirt again, please. Thanks.
We have
What
a
is-
toilet.
that's what
we have
it
a toilet
does.
factory. Is that a spoiler? We have a toilet factory. We're working on that.
Spoiler alert.
Maybe there
toilet
needs to be
factory.
bacon in it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs to be powered by bacon.
Right,
Can we,
yeah, yeah.
Roger? Can you tell a story for those that don't know about how toilet bacon came to be?
How toilet bacon came to be?
Yes.
I think it was just funny. You know what? Our game is system. It isn't funny because our game is system driven. It just randomly happens, and suddenly there was bacon in the toilet, and that's hilarious. And they're like, "Okay, we're gonna keep doing that." I mean,
that.
once you see it, it seems so obvious.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Why did
It's
we
like-
think of this before? Like,
So, Roger, what type of feedback kind of stuck out to you the most during this OT?
So, what's been really incredible about the community in this OT is all of the critique and feedback about the game, about the classes, about the things that you can do, about the skills. I mean, we've got people who have written page after page of like, I've been jotting notes down the entire OT, and now here are my thoughts about why, I think it should be this or it should be that. And some of the people that are playing our game are totally spot on. They're like, yeah, you're right. We've been thinking about that, or we haven't thought of that. So, I mean, the interaction point that we have with our community right now is so tightly integrated and so awesome that we can get that feedback so quickly. It's just been, man, it's been totally incredible.
Sweet.
Like, our fans are just some of the best fans ever.
Yeah. And
things are
you
bad.
know, one of the things that I've really enjoyed so far is when we hop in for dev events. If you don't end up with, I mean, because we had so many devs on, especially for the last one, there's chances you get like 2 or 3 devs in a
Yep.
game and only one community person. But what I've been trying to do is to kind of hop into some people's games, and it's like as soon as you get in, people are like really super anxious to like show you different
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
and that's what I love the most about some of this. So
There's no doubt that the community has done such amazing stuff that we've not even imagined, that it's just blown all our minds away. I mean, we basically set up a toolbox for
Right.
people to do their own thing, and then they, generate these awesome structures, these awesome strategies. They're like, I didn't know you could do that. The fact of the matter is, as a game dev, you might be like number 1 in the world for your game until you release. As soon as you release, you're like at the bottom of the ladder. You totally suck. Everybody else is way better than
Right.
you, because I mean they just come at it with. I mean, like my passion is up to 100, 150. Their passion's to 1,000.
right.
And they just do it even better.
All right. So we love you.
Yeah, I
All
love
of you
them.
watching.
Yeah, you guys.
So like I've asked everyone else.
Yeah.
What was your like favorite moment of OT2, either during the dev event or just playing throughout the course of this OT?
Honestly, and I'm not, no exaggeration, my favorite moment is just hanging out in global chat and talking to people, like answering questions, getting people's reactions to stuff. I mean, I really vibe off
the community and like their excitement or their criticism, or how can I help them if they hit a wall. And I know like the community guys and the CS guys. I mean, we've had so many people in the global chat from the customer service team, the QA team, devs, the community guys that have been out there and helping. And like that's for us. That's like we want to give people that gold glove treatment and show them like how much we care. And that like interaction with the community for me is what makes it special.
Sure. That's awesome. And then one last question, because we have to get ready to wrap up for the show. So we watched Zach build this awesome fort.
Zach's a maniac.
It looks amazing.
And this was
He's the
collaborative.
master builder.
This was collaborative.
Master builder.
He's trying to be
I know, he's trying to be
right
modest.
now. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
know,
you know this little thing.
This is nothing. This is team effort.
This is how I wake up in the morning.
So, Roger, what was your specifically your kind of favorite fort design that you saw either in OT1 or OT2?
Dude, listen, the fact that people had specific building strategies that they were calling out like was blowing my mind. Like, you guys should do the pyramid strategy. I mean, like it's so obvious what that is, but like, people were coming up with that for describing how to defeat, certain
But see,
gate
it's not
encounters,
obvious
stuff
if
like
you
that.
if people haven't played the game
No, it's
necessarily,
totally
right?
not obvious.
Yeah.
But like, we didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened totally organically. That people have come up with like these are the labels for these strategies, and like they're so. I mean, I know everybody who's in the OT is like, when can they start streaming themselves? Because they want to show like, look what I can do, right? So, man, it's that for me is just totally incredible.
Okay. All right. Well, Roger, thank you so much.
No problem.
We are 30 seconds away from this.
At this point, I'm just gonna dance. Really, I mean.
You've already died once. Are you in a safe zone?
Oh, I just said /dance in global chat.
Nice.
By the way.
Oh.
So more fails on my part. So
Poor Wes Phillips.
West Phillips. That's nice.
Poor Wes Phillips.
there we go. Now I'm doing some dancing.
So for everyone watching, we hope you all enjoyed today's stream. I want to thank everyone on the dev team for coming on during the show to come on and talk about their OT2 experience. We're looking forward to having many more of you in the upcoming OTs. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, #Fortnite Live, where you want us to send that, or where you want us to have that next Storm Chasers event. You can hit us up on Snapchat.
I mean, there's no place in the world
Hit
that
us
you're
with
going to
some
be able
pictures,
to hide from Fortnite.
some selfies of you playing
Snapchat,
Fortnite or your Fortnite mouse.
Instagram. I don't even know if that's a thing.
You know what I want to see the most? I want to see the screen caps of Darren sitting over there, sent to the Fortnite
He's a
game.
vampire. None of that will have rendered.
It's so hard to get Darren. You guys don't know. It's so hard.
It's true.
But
Yeah, he
people-
wanted to show up, actually. He was just in the stream, but when you try to reproduce it, like I said, it's like one of those ghost shows
just
actually
disappeared.
catching a ghost. Or
I saw
Bigfoot.
he like disappear. He went through the wall. It's
He
like ethereal.
Pretty sure he's related to Bigfoot.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
So follow us on Twitter @Fortnite Game. Make sure you hit the follow button on the Twitch channel. We will be back very, very soon.
What?
Yes. Looking forward to having many more of you in OT, and we're signing off. Bye.
Goodbye.
See ya.